I've lived there since April of 2008. I'm one of the lucky residents. I have a sunny balcony. Yeah, living at Cecilia house has been tranquilizing. It's been like a dose of tranquility, sunshine and tranquility. If it wasn't for the Bloom Group, I'd still be living in an SRO. My landlord wasn't giving me rent receipts, and he hadn't given me rent receipts since I moved in there, and I had felt trapped for many years. I had terrible mental health issues because I had felt trapped in my apartment, in my basement. There was a basement from hell, and I had nowhere to move to, and I always owed the landlord money, and he lived right above me. I lived in the basement, and so he was always checking on me, always coming down and visiting. And over the years, he had controlled all the people I met, and he had kind of scared away all the friends that I was going to make friends with. I didn't see that coming when I moved in there. I was kind of naive to these kind of situations, but it turned out to be a real nasty situation. And so at a certain point, I found myself, I was close to 40, and I owed several $1,000s to my landlord, even though I'd pretty much been working full time my whole life. Always working full time, but I couldn't afford to feed myself even because I just had the money for the landlord. He controlled me in that sense. He controlled all my finances and how I spent my money, and I didn't have free choice to do the things I wanted to do or pursue the people I wanted to make friends with. All I had were his friends and his family, because they were always there and they were always coming down and talking and making conversation and scaring away the people that I was making friends with. People didn't come back. I started noticing that, and I started feeling isolated, and so I didn't know how to get out of that situation, because I couldn't afford to move when I was several $1,000s in debt, and I couldn't. There was just no rental available. So at that point, I decided I was going to be better off just moving out onto the street, and that's what I did. I moved all my stuff into the neighbor's yard. And then I moved out into the street, and then I took it from there. It was very hard because I moved out from everybody I knew. My whole life, I had to change it overnight like that. And all the people I knew, all the people I had to talk to, all of a sudden I had no one to talk to and no job. I had lost my job soon after. I couldn't maintain it. I was homeless at the time. I had just moved into a SRO down on Cordova Street when my social worker my caseworker at Strathcona Mental Health called me in for an interview, and she said she had an apartment for me. And I said okay. And that was I hadn't yet been on disability. I had just been in contact with this social worker or caseworker. She worked at Strathcona Mental Health, and so she filled in my application for disability for me, and then she hooked me up with this place. Like it was almost in the same week it all happened. It happened all very fast. I have a full kitchen, full bath. Everything's kept clean. At the time I was working, I had worked in hotels as a bellboy, and at the time I was working as a driver for, it was a valet company. I'd worked as a valet at the Ramada Hotel on Pender Street, but that didn't work out, so my job was transformed to, I was a driver at the Edgewater Casino. I made friends with, I started making friends with people again, and I started rebuilding my life slowly. I have my privacy there. My neighbors don't come by and bother me. They don't knock on my door. That's good. And so, yeah, everybody's respectful. And so it's I guess it's the management that keeps them in line. With the way things are going, I plan to spend a long time at the Cecelia house, living there still, because I have no reason to move. The apartment suits me, and the management is good, and the neighborhood is quiet, so everything is working out. So I plan to stay there for a long time.